Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CM Trading. Today is October 29, 2021, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the euro surges over 100 pips, but will it sustain itself? That's the question. We're going to take a look at that in just a second. But first, looking at the major economic events of the day at 2:30 South African time. Out of the United States, we have a core price index number. It's an inflationary number. It is very important. Now, looking at the other corporate news coming out, we have corporate earnings continuing today with ExxonMobil and Chevron, two of the largest oil companies, and Colgate-Palmolive. Really important stuff coming out. Now, looking at the various markets, the Forex symbols, the euro surges, and the South African rand is on resistance. In terms of the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ both steady. The question is, can they sustain themselves? In commodities, gold and oil unchanged. And in terms of stocks, Facebook sells off while bank stocks regain momentum. And lastly, Bitcoin finding some footing. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're looking here at the Euro USD at a 4-hour chart. You can see down here. And this is a spike. This is what we're talking about, from 1583-ish level to 1683, 100 pip move. Now, in these type of scenarios, there's no way to catch such a thing, okay? Unless you chased it and then took a risky kind of trade to kind of like find it on top. However, okay, up here, okay, let's clean this up. Up here, when it does settle at 1683 and you see it's at the top of the range and it's at resistance, there's a fade opportunity. And that's sure enough what's happening right now from 1683 down to 1650, which is a decent retracement. But I would expect a little bit more, maybe a little bit at 1633 to be retracing completely at 50%. So that's that on the euro. Now looking at the rand, we're looking at a daily chart. Let's first start at a daily chart. And you see that we've been coming closer and closer to this resistance-ish level, and we've been pretty much trading within this range. So if it does falter here, I do expect it to retrace, and to sell off at these areas. Now, jumping commodities, really not much doing. Gold, 1796, really not trading, and oil just unchanged. All right in between our 85 to 80 range. Now, when we jump into the stocks, this is where it's all happening. We're looking at the Dow Jones. Let's look at a 4-hour chart, and you could see the resilience here. Okay, it's been very strong. Every time it sells off, it bounces off. Now, a little bit of a discrepancy right now because not all the stocks are going higher. Okay, many of them are going higher, but not all of them are going higher. When we look at the NASDAQ, same story. It's at that top of the range, and possibly we may see a double top here. Now, why I don't think we'll see a double top is that companies and major companies are still coming out with pretty decent earnings. They're not missing their revenues. They're looking forward, with decent, returns and outlooks. So I don't see that we're selling off so aggressively. Now, looking at Apple, since it came out with its earning reports yesterday, look at that spike up 151. I'd be looking to see if this sustains itself. Microsoft also earlier in the week came out with really good earnings. And look at that gap and go and sustaining itself at 323. So that's the type of stuff I like to see. I don't like to see, okay, when we're in an up market, when certain stocks are not going up, like Amazon, okay? Yeah, it rallied a little bit, but this is nothing compared to where it's been going over the past year, okay? But it's been consolidating at this upper area for quite some time. When we look at Facebook, it's dead, okay? It's really weak. So there's this rotation in the markets and not everything is strong right now, and that's disconcerting. Now we look at Tesla, still trading at the top of the range, but remember, Tesla doesn't reflect the rest of the market. It's one stock, it's in one sector, so it's not something that I expect it to reflect everywhere. Now lastly, let's take a look at Bitcoin, finding a footing at 60,000. Every time it hits 57, it jumps off of it. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for sustainability here, and I think in the short term, we've got it. Okay, in terms of Bitcoin, because it is something that is still a very novel asset to trade. It's still very new, and it's still, the frontier in terms of the next possible trading sector to consider more seriously. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a great day and a beautiful weekend. Thank you.